The buses are running, the mail came on time. The weather report shows nothing but sunshine. My friends call and ask if I want to go eat. They don't know the earthquake that swallowed my street. I nod and I smile and I say I am too busy, because explaining this void would just make them dizzy. They see a closed chapter, a story that's done, but I'm watching the fallout of a nuclear sun. And I walk on the pavement where we used to stroll, and the pavement is laughing, taking its toll. It's cruel how the city doesn't even slow down, while my entire kingdom is burning to the ground. The world keeps spinning, indifferent and bright. It hasn't noticed my lack of light. No sirens are sounding, no headlines are read for the quiet apocalypse inside my head. I am an island surrounded by noise, nesting close for the sound of your voice. The most painful part is the sheer lack of fuss. The world didn't care what was happening to us. I try to remember the faces I know, but they blur into strangers moving too slow. I don't need sympathy, I don't need advice. I just needed one person to pay the same price, to stop breathing for just a few days, feel the shift, but the only true loss is the love that you gift. And now that you've taken the one thing that mattered, the rest of the universe feels slightly shattered. I watched an old couple holding hands in the park, and it wasn't a comfort, it just made things dark. They have a future, a steady shared track, while my life is a train that won't ever come back. I close all the windows to muffle the sound of happiness blooming all over the ground. I just need one moment where everything stops and acknowledges just how far my heart drops. I saw a funny from Putty, constant of sadness. Its sunny clutches to ribbon of full kit, very subtle, but had its a foot stomp or light hand clapping. And when it was over, the silence felt wrong. happiness felt like a poorly played song. It felt like forgetting, like turning the page and letting the memory escape from its cage. They told me the healing would finally arrive, but why does getting better feel like a massive dive? A betrayal of the vows that I swore to the pain. If I stop hurting now, did I lose you in vain? Every step forward feels like a retreat from the sacred last place where our two hearts could meet. I'm betraying the memory by learning to stand, walking away from the best thing I had in my hand. I clutch to the sadness, I guard it like gold, because if the sorrow leaves, then the story's untold. I don't wanna live in a world where you're not the defining heartache, the one thing I've got. Maybe the pain is the only true thing that remains, a desperate anchor hooked deep in my veins. If I wake up tomorrow and don't feel the sting, does that mean I was careless of everything? Wish I could freeze this, the feeling of loss. Before time makes the memory worthless as moss. But the sunlight keeps calling and I fight it back down. I don't want a future where you're not the crown. I cleaned out the drawer where your side things remained. No tears fell this time and I felt so ashamed. The anger is fading, the tears have grown dry. I'm just watching the person I was walk on by. Soon I'll speak your name and it won't even ache. And that's the real breaking, the final mistake. Because if I let go of the burden you left, it feels like a theft, a love truly bereft. I deleted your number, I burned every letter. Thought clearing the clutter would somehow make me better. But you don't live on my screen or tucked in a file. You're engraved on my iris, you haunt every mile. I see your car headlights in traffic when I drive, and for one blinding second I feel so alive. Then the vehicle passes and the darkness comes back. It's just another sharp, necessary attack. I'm addicted to moments that won't come again. My mind is a theater that runs on your memory, showing only the scenes where you were next to me. I can feel your cold hand, the scent of your cord, a beautiful torment, a knot in my throat. The past is not history, it's just a repeat, a continuous loop I can never defeat. The constant replay of your voice in my ear reminds me of everything you won't hear. I'm stuck in that kitchen that last hazy night, trying to change lines under fluorescent lights. This broken heart isn't healing, it's just obsessed with the place that you left and the truth I suppressed. They tell me to seek closure, to find a new way. But how do you close a wound that you open each day? I guard every fragment, the look in your eyes, the soft, selfish comfort of crystallized lies. I don't wanna move on, because moving means giving the last piece of you up, and that's not worth living. I'll stay right here frozen, trapped in the shine of the perfect lost ending that should have been mine. I wear the same jacket you said looks the best. It's a strange, desperate pie I put to the test. If I recreate the world you left behind, maybe the broken connections my heart will unbind. But the mirror just shows me the weight of the loss and the terrible price I pay for this cost. I'm a museum of us, dusty and still, and I'll stand here forever if that is your will. We built a fortress with walls made of whispers, but the foundation was sand washed away by the rivers I spent. Every night patching up the same cracks, ignoring the signs, the inevitable attacks. I brought you roses even when they were wilting, hoping a beautiful lie would keep us from tilting. But the air grew thin and the light started dimming. I just kept swimming while the boat was sinking, and my hands are aching from holding on so tight. I used up all my fight just to see the morning light. There's nothing left to save, no magic to revive. We're barely surviving, not truly alive. This is the white flag, my tired surrender, the hollow sound of breaking, cold and tender. We ran this hard dry down to the final drop. Now there's nowhere to go, no place to ever stop. I release the rope I've been gripping for years. Watch our future dissolve into unshed tears. We didn't feel love, we just ran on empty. And the silence right now is the best remedy. The fire, the beautiful bright rush. Now it's just cold kindling and a settling hush. I'm packing up the hope that I hid in the drawers, walking away from the love that ignores the desperate sound of my voice, trying to call a dying dream back before it could fall. But the mirror shows me a stranger, worn out and thin, and it's time to choose where my own healing begins. The clothes still smell like the night we last laughed, but that happiness now feels expertly crafted. I'm erasing the text, clearing out the old files, counting the cost of these painful long miles. I don't hate you, darling, that would be too much strength. I just pity the shell that's stretched out to this length. Goodbye to the promise, goodbye to the ghost. I need to survive this, whatever the cost. I still see the key on the counter where you left it, next to the coffee cup, cold and neglected. The front door never slammed, there was no dramatic scene, just a whisper of silence where a future had been. I keep replaying the last movie we watched together, searching for a line that explained the stormy weather. But all I find is the sound of my own shallow breath, trying to fill the space you left for me with death. A slow, quiet fading, a beautiful lie. And now the clock hands are frozen, stuck on the hour when you decided our flame had run out of power. I'm walking through archives of memories we made, but they're ghosts now, just shadows in the light and the shade. The silence is loud, it screams where you should be, a deafening heartbreak just for me. The echo in the empty room is your name, whispering softly, fanning the cold flame. Did you ever look back when you turned down the street? Did you feel the collapse, the final raw defeat? 'Cause all that remains is the ghost of your hand, holding a future I can't understand. They say time heals, but time is just moving the calendar pages, and nothing is proving that I learned to live without the warmth of your smile. Maybe forever is only a little while. I wish you had fought, I wish you had stayed, I wish there was a reason for the mess you made. But the truth is a hollow, unbearable ache. You just stopped loving me for goodness I threw out the lilies, the scent was too sweet, like the memory of mornings when our two hearts would meet. My phone feels heavy, a weapon I refuse to wield. I know if I called, the line would be sealed. I sit in your spot, but the chair doesn't hold you, just the faint fading promise of things you once told to. It's not just a person I lost, it's the anchor and the sail, leaving me adrift on a sea.